not qualified. Maybe there's somebody that is more qualified, and that's why they got the job. Quit, will you please? Every time there's a vacancy anywhere and a colored person doesn't get it, it's racist.
Diuguid, die and go to hell.
I have my fans. This is some voicemail from columns I've written in the past at the Kansas City Star. These are readers who don't like accurate portrayals of what's going on in the news, whether it's about African Americans or women or people with disabilities or folks who are gay or in the LGBT community. And they are quite vocal in expressing themselves. They have been throughout my entire career. So this is part of the poison that people who want to write the truth that's out there have to deal with. I had wanted to be a journalist, but that's a profession that wasn't really available to black women in the 50s and 60s. So I ended up going to the University of Missouri, Columbia School of Journalism, and MU, though difficult, though not a good environment for black students, was in its own way extremely functional in preparing me for the career that I was headed into. Journalism is not a kind or friendly career for African Americans, for Latinos, for women, for Asians, for Native Americans. And so the brutality that I had to endure on campus was really just preparing me for what I would have to contend with in the job. Journalism is about, or should be about, telling the truth regardless of the consequences. In 1978, a white reporter and I were assigned to go and test discotheques, places where young people went to party and dance, and what we had heard from then the editor, who was the first Latino editor the Star has ever had, was that blacks and Latinos were treated differently. So we went to test it, and what we found was that the white reporter was allowed into the discotheques, no problem. No cover charge, no ID, nothing. When I went to go into the discotheque, I had to show 2 pieces of ID with a picture and pay a cover charge of $5. So there was just open discrimination, and if I didn't do it, then I wasn't allowed in. I wish that the industry would have been more open and accepting of people of color, because it made being a journalist extra challenging and extra difficult when it didn't have to be. So it made me better, though it could have made me bitter, and I try not to be bitter. I'm not retired in any stretch of the imagination. We have to look at our careers at things as if it's late at night, maybe a bad neighborhood where we are. We're waiting on a bus. A bus comes along. Do we take the first bus that comes along, even though it's going in the wrong direction? No. You wait for the bus. It's going to take you where you want to be. Otherwise, you'll go way out of your way and then have to find a way to get back. And there may not be the right bus that'll take you back to where you want it to be. But patience really pays off. So I'm just waiting for the right bus.